Welcome back to WC Coin World, the ultimate place for coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and those who appreciate the hidden value in everyday pocket change. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating history of the 1934 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that holds a unique place in American numismatic history. This is not just any penny. It was minted during a time of economic recovery after the Great Depression, and its story is deeply intertwined with the economic and social changes of the early 20th century. In this video, we will cover everything you need to know about the 1934 Wheat Penny, from its historical significance to its minting process, the variations that exist, key mint marks, errors, values, and why this coin remains an important piece in any collector's set. So, sit back, relax, and join me as we explore the world of the 1934 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Historical context. To truly understand the significance of the 1934 Wheat Penny, we need to go back in time to the early 20th century. The United States was coming out of the Great Depression, which had begun with the stock market crash of 1929. By the early 1930s, unemployment was at an all-time high, banks were failing, and people struggled to make ends meet. The demand for new coinage had dropped drastically during the worst years of the Depression because there was little economic activity, and people simply were not spending money as they had before. In fact, in 1932 and 1933, the U.S. Mint significantly reduced the production of pennies, and no Lincoln Wheat pennies were struck at all in 1932, making the 1934 penny part of the resurgence of coinage production when the economy started to stabilize. By 1934, President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal policies were beginning to take effect, aiming to stimulate economic growth and restore public confidence in the financial system. With increased government projects and a slow but steady improvement in industrial production, the demand for currency, including pennies, started to rise once again. As a result, the U.S. Mint resumed larger-scale production of the Lincoln Wheat Penny, which had been in circulation since 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Design of the 1934 Lincoln Wheat Penny. The design of the 1934 penny follows the classic Lincoln Wheat Penny design, which was first introduced in 1909 and created by the Lithuanian-American sculptor Victor David Brenner. The obverse, or front side of the coin, features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" on the left, and the date, 1934, on the right side just below Lincoln's chin. This iconic design was the first time in U.S. history that a real person had been depicted on a circulating coin, breaking the tradition of using allegorical figures like Lady Liberty. On the reverse side, or the back of the coin, we see the famous wheat ears design, with two stalks of wheat on either side, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America in the center. Above, the Latin phrase e pluribus unum is inscribed, which means out of many, one, and represents the unity of the United States. This design remained in circulation until 1958, when the Lincoln Memorial reverse was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Mint marks and production. The 1934 Wheat Penny was produced at 2 U.S. Mint facilities. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of 1934 pennies, and these coins do not have a mint mark. Denver Mint, D mint mark. The Denver Mint also produced a smaller number of 1934 pennies, and these can be identified by the small D mint mark located just below the date on the obverse side of the coin. The San Francisco Mint did not produce any pennies in 1934, which means there are no 1934 S wheat pennies in existence. This makes the 1934 D pennies more sought after by collectors compared to the Philadelphia minted ones. Mintages and rarity. The Philadelphia Mint produced 219,080,000 pennies, making this version relatively common. The Denver Mint produced 28,446,000 pennies, which is significantly lower than the Philadelphia Mintage, making it a bit scarcer, but still not considered rare compared to key dates in the Lincoln series. Although these numbers may seem large, many of these coins have since been lost, damaged, or worn down over time, making high-grade specimens much more valuable. Valuation and collectibility. The value of a 1934 Lincoln Wheat penny depends on its condition, mint mark, and any rare errors. Most circulated 1934 pennies are worth between 5 cents and $2, depending on the grade. However, in higher grades, especially uncirculated, mint state, examples, the value can increase significantly. A 1934 no mint mark penny in MS-65 gem uncirculated condition can be worth around $30 to $50. A 1934 D Denver Mint penny in MS-65 condition can fetch $100 or more due to its lower mintage. Proof-like or red RD designated coins with a bright original red luster are the most valuable and can command several $100s at auction. Rare errors and varieties. Some 1934 wheat pennies have errors and die varieties that can increase their value, including double die obverse DDO. Some 1934 pennies show doubling on the date, letters, or Lincoln's profile, which can make them much more valuable. Repunched mint marks RPM. Some 1934 D pennies have repunched D mint marks, meaning the mint mark was stamped twice, slightly offset. Off-center strikes. If the coin was not properly centered during striking, part of the design may be missing, making it a unique collectible. If you come across any of these varieties, it's worth having them authenticated by a grading service like PCGS or NGC to determine their true market value. Conclusion. The 1934 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a fascinating coin that represents a critical period in U.S. history. It marked a return to higher mintages following the economic hardships of the early 1930s, and while not considered rare in general, high-grade specimens and rare varieties can be valuable additions to any collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin is a great reminder of America's resilience during tough times and the beauty of numismatics. Thank you for joining me today on WC Coin World. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more coin history and collecting tips. See you in the next video.